Zeke, do you want to go for a skate? Wow, it's so fast. This episode brought to you by Hefty Chunks Cat Food. If you want your orange cat to also look like Garfield, Hefty Chunks. Everyone needs a hefty orange cat in their life. It's just a fact. Right, Kaylee? This episode isn't about you. This episode is actually about Zeke. Come here, Zeke. Oh, what a big ham. Okay, this is too much. Thanks for being here today. As you know, Zeke loves to roller skate. Zeke's gear setup has kind of transformed over the last couple of weeks. We weren't really sure how he was going to react. It's been a little while since we've had him out roller skating. This good boy here has had 3 ACL surgeries in his life. So before those ACL surgeries, he was very active. We would take him skating all the time with us. Since the ACL surgeries, he's been a little less active because we really wanted those surgeries to heal well for him. But now he's back at it, and now we can't say S-K-A-T-E very loud. He gets really excited. You get so excited. When we started skating with Zeke again, we kind of took it a little slow. We started out with a chain collar. Zeke. We started out with a chain collar for my safety and for his safety as well. We were skating through some neighborhoods. I wanted to make sure I had as much control over him as humanly possible. Ugh. Once we knew he was going to behave, we upgraded him to a regular harnessed leash setup, which has been working really, really well for us for the most part. And then I kind of got thinking, what if there's something better? And someone had recommended to me that I should check out a bungee leash. And I've seen these leashes before. I've seen runners out with their dogs, the leash wrapped around their waists and the jogger running and their dog attached to them. I wasn't a huge fan of the idea because I wondered how safe that could possibly be for both the person and for the dog in the event the dog stops running, sees a squirrel, decides to go in a completely different direction. But I figured, why not give it a try? Maybe it would offer Zeke a little more flexibility, and maybe it would save my shoulders from getting pulled out of the socket when he decides to go into a different direction. So voila, Sparkly Pets bungee leash. This fun little bag is nice and convenient. It's a great way to store it so that dogs like Zeke don't get into it and eat the leash. Zeke, you've never eaten a leash before, not one time. He's eaten every leash. The handle's a nice size. It fits in your hand really well. Has a leather Sparkly Pets logo at the base of the handle. And the leash itself is made out of a very, very sturdy looking braided fabric. I have another leash kind of like this, which is really great for dogs like Zeke who tend to chew through their leashes. If they do get a hold of the leash, they can chew it a little bit, and even if they break through some of the fabric, the leash actually still holds very well. The other nice thing about this leash is it does have reflective material. So if you can see it here, leash itself is black and then it has the reflective material braided throughout it. So this is actually great for nighttime as well. If you're gonna take your dog for a walk at night, it's visible to cars. The top part of the leash really does seem firm. It doesn't have a lot of give to it whatsoever. So this part of the leash is about 43 inches long. And then on the end is a hook. And that is what attaches this part of the leash. This part of the leash is your bungee. It's what is going to give you great shock absorbing capabilities. So this part of the leash is about 2 feet long, and once it's stretched, it gives you about, I would guess, 30 inches of extra length. This is also made out of a very strong stitched fabric. It seems to have the reflector stitching in it as well. So all in all, this leash comes out to about 68 inches. You simply take the bungee part of the leash and attach it to your traditional leash to create the entire leash. I will say, first reaction here, this part of the bungee seems very strong. Like, I have to try to stretch it. The other really nifty thing that I like about this leash is it has an additional handle. So this is the bottom of the bungee piece of the leash, and it has this nice place where you can actually fit your hands for a handle. So in the event I'm skating along and a car comes or a stop sign, I can reach down and grab this portion of the leash and to give me a little more control over him. So my overall first impression of this leash is that it seems to be very strong and very sturdy. I really like the reflective capabilities in the leash. The bungee part of it seems to be very, very strong. I'll be interested to see how that works for us when we actually go out for a skate. I'm really excited about this little handle down here. I really like that it's black. I think it looks pretty stylish. Not that that really matters much for a dog leash, but it does come in different colors, red, blue, and green. You have options. Where did I get it? You can Amazon Prime this leash to your front door for $16.95, which I felt was a pretty fair price. We'll see if I still feel that way after we go for our skate. Z, what do you think? What do you think? Are you ready to go for a skate? Are you ready? I think he's ready. We better go skate. I am covered in dog fur. This is my life. Why do I even try? This is literally pointless. Why didn't somebody tell me? I don't even know why I own black. It's just dog glitter. It's just part of your daily accessories. You put on your foundation, your eyeliner, and just cover yourself in dog hair. Let's go for a skate.
He's all about the hard pulls.
Yeah. Extra bungee is definitely nice for when he either stops abruptly or kind of jerks in a different direction. Extra bungee also gives you less control over your dog. So you kind of have to anticipate that if you're coming to a stop sign or a red light or if a car's coming. So I'm actually really loving this little extra handle on the leash. It's extra convenient for when a car comes by. You can pull them in a little closer and have a little more control. job, buddy. So pretty. We're dropping Mr. Zeke off at the house, and then I will give you my full thoughts on this thing. So that was fun. I'm gonna give you my first impressions. There are a couple things I liked about the leash, actually. The first thing I liked about it, it's just made out of a nice round material. The roundness of the leash itself allows for you to have a pretty solid grip on it. I have a normal flat nylon leash that I use for Zeke normally, and that can get wrapped around your wrist, it can get wrapped around your hand. It can be a little inconvenient when you're trying to skate and manage a dog and be safe at the same time. I'm always a little worried that if I fall or something happens, the leash will get wrapped around my wrist or around my leg and terrible things will happen. So 10 out of 10 for handling and grip. The leash had a couple natural gripping spots, and I'm not sure if the designer meant it purposefully or not. First one is actually where the leash connects to the bungee, The next one is down where the handle is, right by where Zeke's collar is. I found both of those grip locations to be very helpful when controlling Zeke and just making sure that we're heading in a safe speed in a good direction. It wasn't nighttime, so I didn't get to really use the reflective material much, but as soon as I have a chance to use it, I will let you know what I feel about that. And it was like the perfect length. There wasn't a whole lot of extra leash bundled up in my hand to get tangled up around my fingers and around my wrist. So I found that to be incredibly helpful. Okay, what I didn't like about it, depending on how your dog is trained, you may find it somewhat difficult your first couple of times out to have the same level of stability and control over your dog. I definitely trained Zeke to respond to pull and tug commands. With the bungee leash, obviously there's a lot more give, and I could definitely feel that when I was trying to give Zeke commands to stop or to slow down. There were a couple of times where I found him taking off and being a little more squirrely than he normally would have been on his regular nylon leash, which has no give to it whatsoever. But I think that that can be managed with a couple practice sessions. We're gonna have to practice and relearn some of those verbal commands that I had taught him as a puppy. And I think once we work through that and do a little more practice, that shouldn't be an issue. So overall, I really liked the leash. It was definitely easier on my arms and shoulders. It allowed him to have, I think, a little more comfort, and I'm definitely gonna use it again. We are fueling up at our favorite fueling up location, because after a long, hard skate, where else do you go?
Here you are.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We love you. Got to get your curbside pickup, guys. From Sasha with the cool hair. A blonde Americano a day keeps the COVID away. That is not scientifically proven in any way, shape, or form. Guys, I need to end the vlog like a real adult vlogger. I'm getting there. It just takes practice, that's all. I forget. So guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something about dog leashes. I will post a link to the Amazon Prime where I bought the dog leash, and feel free to buy it. There is no discount code because I'm not currently sponsored by anything, but that's okay. I do this because I enjoy it. If you like these videos, consider clicking subscribe. I am going to make new videos every week. Thanks for watching.